Hi, my name is Sarah and this is Sarah Does a Thing. Last week, I unboxed or unbagged the EDC2 kit from Savage Industries. I have made that bag, and I am planning on making that into a video, but not right now. What I'm going to do right now is the pouch plan. I am going to take these pattern pieces planned for a pouch, make it a little smaller. I made the EDC2 kit, and there was, if you made no mistakes, there was more than enough extra fabric to make this pouch in the sailcloth. I made mistakes, so I can't quite make it as is. Also, this pouch isn't big enough to be a pencil case, and I only ever really want, you could fit small mechanical pencils, but I want to be able to fit my Apple Pencil, my long fancy pencils. I want to be able to have a nice long pencil case. So I'm going to change this into a pencil case, and then I'm going to sew it out of my scraps from the bag and a zipper that I harvested from a garment bag. Yeah, so that's today. We're going to make a bag. Ready? This body of the bag is 7 inches by 5.5. I'm going to change that so it's 2.5 inches tall and about 8.5 inches long. That's so it can fit this pencil. I'm going to do that with this slightly used piece of tracing paper. I'm using the 1/4 inch seam allowance because that's what's on the pattern originally, and why not? The zipper I'm using is not as wide or as big, I don't think, as the zipper from the pattern. So I'm not going to use the pattern width. I don't know how wide it has to be, so I'm going to use my leftover strips of fabric, which are a little wider than I think they have to be. And I'm just going to cut them down once I've inserted the zipper. This is probably not the correct way to do this. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do now, and then I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to put them into the fabric, and then we're going to sew them. There is a right side and a wrong side to the sailcloth, and it is, you do want to make sure that you're using the correct side, that you're not mixing and matching, because otherwise it will look funny. Oh no, I was supposed to put a tab in. Is the tab on both sides? We're gonna put the tab in only on one side. We're gonna put it on this side. And tab options. This is extremely frustrating. Plan ahead when you're doing something like this. This is just too big. The material I used for the tabs on the bag is too wide for this bag, but I have other yellow webbing. This stuff is polyester. It's not as nice as the cotton webbing, but it will work in a pinch. So this is what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to very quickly baste the poly webbing in place before I sew the bag up. Clean this up. Okay, I have sewn this as a circle. It has one tab instead of two, but it's okay. And now I just need to fill in the sides. I made a mistake. This bottom was designed to go up 1 inch, of the 2.5-inch high sides. I was supposed to make this top strip an inch longer and I didn't. Which means this strip is 1/2 inch too tall. They both are. I think. I mean, I think I can just fix that just by sewing it. Okay. I have made life choices I now regret. Clip. And we'll see what we do. Absolutely no desire to wrap these seams when I'm done. I think I'm going to leave them raw. Yeah. All right, it is done. It's a pencil case. All right, several days ago I made the sad hot dog bun. It's a sad hot dog bun, so I want to make this pattern in a way that respects the pattern better. So I'm going to. I am going to cut out the actual pattern pieces from this, and I'm going to make them in this white tyvek that is an envelope. And I'm using a zipper that I ripped from an old bag. Cool. I'm going to get to it. I cut 2 of these, I only need to cut 1. Whoops. The twisted pencil case is twisted because I screwed this part up. Alright, so I'm just going to make this into a tube. Cool. I almost made exactly the same mistake I made some days ago. Now is when you insert the tab. Looking good. This gets top stitched. How does this get top stitched? It gets top stitched down. The pattern calls for covering the seams in a ribbon. Instead of a ribbon, I'm just going to use more tyvek because it doesn't fray. It's basically plastic felt. Okay, cool. Top stitch, and then we do the same thing to the other side. This would make a much better hot dog. But we're not going to make a hot dog. We're making something more like this. Yeah. Yep. Well, this part's a little easier. It's still tricky, but it's easier than the stiff sailcloth. I'm gonna stop there because I've run into the same problem I had before. So when you're sewing these corners, seam allowance really matters. It makes a big difference. I think, anyway, I'm off by a whole centimeter. There's my notch. That's my sewing line. They don't match up, which means something's wrong in my seam allowance. I think I'm taking too big a seam allowance for the pattern. It should even out. I mean, I started in exactly the right spot. I'm not ending in the right spot. This is how we got a twisted hot dog bun. I am going to shave off a bit here. I think that just for whatever reason that doesn't quite fit. It'll be okay. I'll just make sure I do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna stop here because I want to measure out this side and make sure that I'm not gonna have the same problem or a different problem. I shouldn't. It should work. I hope. It looks like it should work. And this just means I'm gonna end up trimming that much off on the other side, which is cool. So I can do that. Ta-da! Yeah, so I just need to make sure that things are the same on this side. Well, that's inside out. I think I can just flip it. That's lovely. That's the end of my one-day build over 2 days. One day I made this. The wonky hot dog bun is entirely my fault that it is twisted and sad. I made some measurement mistakes and I didn't correct them when I was sewing it. I just sort of went for it and I knew that this would happen and it did. I'm gonna keep it. It's gonna be a pencil case. It'll be nice. It matches the bag, so that's cool. The second one-day build is this. This is an old Tyvek envelope. So reduce, reuse, recycle. A zipper from a bag I already had that I'm going to take apart for parts. So this was essentially a free build, which is nice. Actually, they both were. This was scraps from the bag, and this was an old envelope. So if you have an old Tyvek envelope, totally recommend making little ditty bags or little stuff sacks out of them. They're really durable. They work really nice. And they're really, really light. Yeah. So I'm very happy with this. I will be putting them in my bag and I will be putting it to use. I will also be uploading the footage of making the bag. I'm going to try and edit that down and provide that to you. Coming up, I am going to also try and do some historically inspired and vintage inspired sewing projects make myself an outfit or a wardrobe. It's unclear. I have a couple cool things either already in progress or waiting in the wings, and I'd like to continue to put them up here on the YouTubes. So thank you very much for joining me. Maybe you'll want to come back again sometime. Okay, have a great day. Thanks.